For more on the White House shooting, we are joined by Vice Admiral Robert Harward on this, former Deputy Commander of U.S. Central Command, retired U.S. Navy SEAL. It is good to have you here as always, and I want to get your perspective here because we are learning the suspect is being deemed emotionally disturbed. He did have this prior stay-away order issued against him for the White House. How concerning is it for a known individual with that kind of order that he got right up to this perimeter checkpoint with a firearm?
Well, the White House is as much a national monument as anything else, the Washington Monument, the Jefferson. So tourists and people flowing around it each and every day, there's sidewalks that people can pass. So this is a tough problem for the Secret Service, and it doesn't surprise me that someone could come up to it. But the perimeter is sound, and the professional of the Secret Service, as in this case, responding instantly to address the threat, but it's going to be tough unless they won't block off the roads, block off sidewalks to make a bigger standoff area, and that thereby denying tourists and other people who want to see the White House, be it from a distance.
Would you be in favor of an expanded perimeter?
Oh, well, we've seen that over the years, from the times I was at the White House under the Bush administrations, Farragut Square, other areas. It has been pushed somewhat, but you have the flow of traffic on two roads next to it. So I would be in favor of it. I think it's a wise move, but it's going to be tough for the folks living in D.C. and how they have to go to business and all the businesses that are in the near vicinity. So it's a real problem for the Secret Service, and their training and their expertise is on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to deal with these type of threats.
You helped commission the National Counterterrorism Center more than 20 years ago. In the first critical hours of a shooting like this, how do intel agencies initially separate a lone wolf domestic threat from a more coordinated international cell?
Well, the first thing is data and information. And in this case, where they knew the individual already had details on them, that makes it pretty clean and simple. Now, are they going to go back and find out if he had links or association received some sort of guidance? But I would say with his emotional state being documented, that's probably not the case, unless terrorist organizations and folks like the Iranians and their sleeper cells are targeting people to leverage and use them, which would be a very sound strategy on their part. But the first thing is, what information do we have on him, what on his family's records? It seems that's well documented at the moment.
With President Trump reportedly in the Oval Office as this happened, how do elite security teams secure a leader while simultaneously assessing, is this a solo attack? Is this a distraction? Is this the beginning of waves of a coordinated assault?
Well, that's a great question, and that is a tough problem, and that's why some of that geography makes it tough for a wave of assaults. If you have to marshal forces, you're going to try to storm the White House with a group of folks, that would become very clear to the outside and the perimeters. You see that. So that, I think that'd be tough to pull off. But in the White House itself, you have several layers of defense. The outer perimeter, the inside, the White House itself, and then internal to the White House, there are also other tools they use to ensure the president is safe day in and day out, as well as the rest of the staff at the White House.
From a special operations standpoint, how vulnerable is the inner envelope of the White House complex to someone with a simple firearm?
With a simple firearm, it'd be very tough to pull off. Let's just put it that way. They're well armed. They're prepared for that sort of threats. They're prepared for other, more sophisticated, more strategic threats as well. We had that portfolio for many years, and there are a lot of mechanisms and tools that are used day in and day out to ensure that that does not occur.
Vice Admiral Robert Harward, always appreciate the context and time. Thank you.
Good to be with you.
And we are staying